Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to KHM Today, your weekly resource for industry news and straight up fun. I'm your host, Carolyn Orff, and we are live today from Beaches Turks and Caicos. It is March 29th, 2023. I couldn't be more thrilled to be here. I've been spending some time on vacation, but boy, when the opportunity presents itself, I just had to be here with all of you today. So we may have a guest joining us. I'm not quite sure. You know how hotels are. When things happen, they happen. So, but we do have the pleasure of Ryan Trenn being with us today. So he's going to share his insights on this property and why he loves to sell it as well. But so many fun things, you guys, that I've experienced. But before we get to that, let's go ahead and just a few updates for you on events if you are a KHM agent. Boot Camp 2.0 is still open and available. And let's see, on the concourse, be sure to be looking at your insider to see the dates and the availability for those locations. And then finally, Destination Success. I know I'm getting emails. It is opening in April, so be on the lookout for that information as well. Well, let's go ahead and get started, you guys. Hello, Denise. So good to see you. Hello, Vicki. Hello, Ashley. I'll see you next week in Las Vegas. And that's right. For those of you that will be at the Las Vegas Travel Agent Forum, I'll see you in just a few days. So going to hop on a plane tomorrow and then one to Vegas on Friday. So let's go ahead and bring Ryan on so we can talk all about this amazing property that I've had the pleasure of enjoying this week. Hello, Ryan.
Hello, Carolyn. How are you?
I'm doing great. You know, I'm living the dream out here in Turks and Caicos, and I have to tell you, the first thing I loved was, I don't know about you guys, but I love when you get off the plane, and we got some guests in the background, and you have to walk down the staircase because there's no real bridge. I just think that's so fun. It reminds me a little bit of Fantasy Island. So that was my first welcome to Turks and Caicos. And then of course the water. It's incredible. It's stunning.
Breathtaking.
When was the first time you visited Turks and Caicos?
Oh, I want to say it was probably around 8 years ago. I've been there probably around 15 times.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
If the flights were better, the flights were tough, but I was also tired from boot camp. But I mean, the property itself, let's talk about that, because there's the different villages, French Village, Caribbean, Key West, and Italian. And have you stayed at all four of them?
I have, and they actually have the newest one, which is Seaside, which was Caribbean, and they have it runs right along the water. Which my two favorite are Key West and Seaside. Definitely.
So I'm in Key West this week, and I have to say it is probably my favorite as well, because it's a little bit more chill. It's away from the hustle and bustle of things, but there are still pools to be had, and that is important. We've got some guests that are joining us here. He's just going around. This is so fun. Live on YouTube. Say hello. So it's been my favorite place to really kind of sit down and relax. The accommodations have been lovely. We're in concierge level, so of course we get that wonderful bar in our room, which is fun, and we just have really enjoyed it. Let's talk about food.
Where do we start at that resort?
I want to say this is the biggest surprise to me. For a resort this size, 24 restaurants, I was thinking that the food would be fair.
Yeah.
And I have found the food to be really, really good to excellent. What are some of your favorites?
I would say definitely. I mean, I'm an Italian, so I mean, I do like Mario's. They have Giuseppe's as well, but I'm a Mario's over that. I do like Arizona's for a quick grab. It is the steak and rib place, but I also do enjoy that for lunch. I'm a pizza snob, and I do love Sandals Pizza, Sandals and Beaches Pizza, but sushi probably is my favorite. Just because you can go there as a quick appetizer, grab a roll on your way to dinner, and Kimonos, which is the Tabernacle
Mhm.
steak and seafood, is absolutely amazing too. You get a little show. I always find that they're a little bit better at a beaches resort because it's more geared towards kids and I'm a
Mhm.
kid at heart. So um, I love the entertainment. But La Petite Chateau, the French restaurant, is probably my all-time favorite.
I had the most amazing meal there the other day with a beautiful filet mignon. But what I really loved about it, Ryan, was the fact that you get kind of a front row seat to either a dress rehearsal or the Sesame Street stage show.
Mhm.
And so, when we walked in, they were like, "Do you mind?" Because, of course, I wanted to sit outside. And I said, "Absolutely not. I'll watch Elmo and Friends, perform on stage." So we thought that was a lot of fun. And it's a great viewing spot for even later on if you're extending your dinner over to dessert number one or number two. So we loved that restaurant as well. We really enjoyed soy as well. We had sushi there the other night. And then last night we were at Bombay.
Mm.
Now, talk about a surprise. It was excellent Indian food. I just was really, really surprised by that. And more than anything, I'm loving the ambiance of every single place. It reminds me a little bit of like World Showcase in Epcot, where you are almost transported
Mhm.
into a different destination, which I think is really fun.
Yeah. I mean, that's one thing that I love about the brand in itself because none of the resorts are cookie cutters. Everyone is completely different. Everyone has different restaurants. I mean, some of the restaurants do repeat, the favorites, but everyone has its own feel, its own
Mhm.
vibe.
Here's the other thing that I think is really important for families. So many times we hear no reservations and people love that, but they also freak out a little bit over it because they think, "Oh my gosh, how long am I going to have to wait for a table?" We have not waited once this week and it's full. The
Mhm.
resort is full. I'm not certain where everyone is, to be honest. I'm constantly surprised, and we're not eating at 5:30. We're eating at more like 6:30, 7, which is really peak time,
Yeah.
yet I don't know where everyone is. And that's kind of the neat thing is that I thought I would be stressed out about that, and I'm not. Each dinner experience has been really lovely, and I haven't been stressed out about, "Okay, we've gone at this time, now I have to wait another hour."
Yeah.
Um, so that's been a really pleasant surprise as well. Of course, the next thing we have to talk about is activities because this is like a huge value add for this
Mhm.
property is the level of activities. Housekeeping's coming through. Um, what are some of the favorite ones that you find your families really love and find value in?
Well, I would, excuse me. I mean, one of the biggest things that they have, and recently really started promoting, is the free dive. Diving is included up to 2 tanks a day, which is huge because if you would think what you would pay to go to Turks and Caicos and dive, and they're on dive boats. I mean, the name brand equipment that you're using, which is huge compared to any other resort where you would have to pay. That alone, I mean, pays for itself. Same way, some resorts do include golf, which is another huge thing. Green fees are always included. The Hobie Cats, paddle boards. At Turks and Caicos, they have the glass bottom boat, which is amazing. Snorkeling in Turks and Caicos, for the people that have not been there, the pictures don't do it justice. The water is absolutely amazing. I mean, you don't even need to look underneath the water. You can see the fish and the turtles and everything from above the water. It's absolutely amazing. But they have,
I was shocked by that.
yeah.
I knew it would be clear. I didn't know it would be that clear.
Yeah. Like even landing in the plane, like coming down in the plane, you're like, is this real? Like this is like movies.
It does look like the movies,
Yeah.
and I couldn't second you more. The reason we came down here was the diving. My son is recently certified. He's going out on a liveaboard this summer, and I really needed to know that he was comfortable under the water. And day one, they were encouraging him, "Look, you're here. You're going to dive.
Hmm.
Get your advanced underwater certification." And so they really walked him through that process. And so to be able to do that on site we were diving anyways. Why not put that towards something? So
Yeah.
that was really fun. So a huge shout out to Jason and his crew down there. And I think we talked before the show that, the thing that really surprised me, I shouldn't say it surprised me. What I was really, really thrilled with was the attention to detail and the attention to safety. Every single person on that boat, every crew member was making sure that you were paying attention. They would not start the safety briefing until everyone had eyes on the captain. And that's huge, right? We
Oh,
do that on an airplane where we just, oh, let me just keep doing what I'm doing, and we don't listen to that. But this, they did not, the boat did not move until everyone was listening.
yeah.
So just I really appreciated that. And like you said, what a value add. I didn't have to worry about anything. Equipment was fantastic, top of the line. They checked everything to make sure it was all put together well. And we couldn't have had better dives, with our first one, of course, having a reef shark sighting.
Nice.
That was really exciting. My son didn't freak out, which I thought he would. And of course, yesterday, for those of you that saw my Instagram, you saw this amazing dolphin that loves to hang out near the resort called Jojo.
Jojo.
I don't know if you've seen Jojo before, but absolutely magnificent. And that's the other thing. The dive instructors and the boat captain know where the fish are. So you're not just like going out there, you're actually like, you're going to see something. So that alone was just fantastic. We have not done the glass bottom boat. I think after being out on a boat every morning, we felt good, but we did do the Hobie Cats, and we pretended like we were in the America's Cup flying down there. They'll take you out on the bigger ones as a group, but it really just, we've just been amazed by the variety of activities that are out there for both kids, families, and adults.
Yeah. I mean, and there's so much too on land. I mean, like the Xbox Lounge. I don't know if
Yes.
you peeked in there. The Club Liquid at night. I mean,
Yep.
is under 21. Is it till 10, I believe, and then turns into the adult nightclub until 1 or 2. So I mean, it's just not for children.
Yes.
It's for everyone.
Well, and I think that's what I said when we were just chatting beforehand. I really was coming expecting a family resort, which it absolutely is, but it's so much more than that.
Hmm.
It's an everyone resort. We've seen couples, we've seen multi-gen. I spoke to people on the boat yesterday. This is their 7th time coming. 7th time, and she was explaining to me the why behind that, and it made sense. It's the reason why she said they'd never ever duplicated trips before in their life, and then they came here and they came with older grandparents, and it works for the older grandparents, so they just keep coming back because these are the memories they're making with them. So really, just that to me is heartwarming, and I think that's kind of the vision and the mission behind the brand in general.
Absolutely. I mean, and just on, I mean, that resort in general, the staff is absolutely amazing. I'm sure you, as you said before the show, everyone knows me on that resort.
They
Uh,
do. They do. All I had to do was say, Ryan.
I just love that resort, and I take a lot of groups there, and I remember one time walking with my dad to breakfast, and he's like, "Wow," he's like, "Even the gardener stops what he's doing and says, 'Good morning, how are you? Can I
Mhm.
help you with anything?'" And he's like, "Where else does the gardener even acknowledge you?" And I was
Right.
surprised that my dad alone even noticed it, and then it really made me sit back and think, wow, I mean, he went out of his way to make sure that he addressed every single customer that walked by.
Yes. And I have to tell you, I've been taking notes. I think the staff's starting to wonder why I'm constantly with a notebook. But I have absolutely been taking notes of individuals who have just really shined this week, because I always like to send that feedback back to BDMs, whomever can pass it on to the resort in general, because I think a job well done and someone who's just gone out of their way to make sure something's perfect, it always shines to me. And sometimes it's not even that they've done something, it's that they've just said something that I think is so special, and it makes the whole vacation experience elevated. It's why I love cruising, right? Because you get to know them. So I love hearing from the staff. what else? Tell me about, so this resort obviously prices a
Mhm.
little bit higher than a lot of our all-inclusive options out there. How is it easy for you to sell? I'm not going to say it's easy for you to sell, but how do you present this to your clientele in a way that makes them say and see that value behind that price point?
Well, first of all, I mean, I sell the experience because it's not just a vacation. There is so much to do on that resort, and half the time our clients don't know. I mean, they look at the big picture like I'm going to Turks and Caicos, I'm crossing that off my bucket list.
Yeah.
But I mean, the biggest thing is educate yourself on that resort, or all of our resorts. I mean, we need to first sell ourselves and then sell the resort. So in doing so, with Beaches Turks and Caicos, I mean, they have a full-fledged water park, with 8 water slides, a lazy river, that's not just a complete circle. It's actually a decent size. They
Mhm.
have a surf simulator. That's a lot of fun as well. I mean, I myself, you will never catch on that, but I watch others and take some video. There's just so much to do. And as we mentioned about the diving and all the inclusions, just stop and show them on a piece of paper. Add that stuff up. How much would it
Mhm.
cost to dive? How much would it cost to take your children to a water park? For 7 days plus their
Mhm.
vacation for 7 days. If they drink, it's top shelf alcohol. You have 24 dining options. I mean, what resort has
Yes.
24 dining options? You know,
Yes.
um, and they're all 5 star. I mean, there's just so much that they don't realize that's included in that price. Also, a little tip that the prices do fall in September. So the first week of September, the prices do fall for right around $2,000. So keep that in mind as well.
I also love the fact that, oh, I lost my train of thought, that there's no additional tipping except for the butlers. I do think that's nice. And here's the other thing, it's a game changer for families. I don't know what time the pools are open till, but it's late.
Mhm.
Because when I walk through every night, the pools are still open and these kids are swimming. And at every other resort I've been to, that is not the case. They really shut down 6, 7 o'clock. No one else is in there. And these pools are still going. So
Yeah.
you've got some tired kids at the end of the night because they're having dinner and they are jumping right back in that water.
Yeah, I mean, and if you ask them, they say they never close, unless they have to do some cleaning or shock, the systems or whatever. But I mean, I've been swimming 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. Probably shouldn't have been, but I have.
I just think that, that's really listening to your clientele and realizing what it is that's going to make their vacation amazing. Um, and I think that's huge. And you go back to the 24 dining options. My son, who's almost 16, I think we're eating dinner and then he has second dinner. So we really have like gone around and marked off every single place that we've been able to experience because, you know, we only had so many days and there's
Yeah,
24 dining
yes.
options. We really wanted to be able to come back and share that experience.
You're bringing a new
Um,
meeting to dine around.
Yes, and it is. It's the dine
Yeah,
around. You have a little
yeah.
bit here, a little bit there. Well, Ryan, thank you so much for being here today. I just think this is a fantastic property. I think it's great for groups. And more than anything, I have been walking around saying, ooh, I've got to find out what that room category is because I want the one with the little porch.
Mm,
That's the room category I want. So I have to go figure out which one that is, because I've been eyeing them all week and every morning on my way to breakfast. Because my son and I were diving so early, we were at breakfast by 7:15, and there is a grandpa out there with his grandson every single morning on the porch, letting everyone else sleep. And every morning, this little one has had the TV remote in his hand and a pair of iPods. But he's with grandpa and there's no TV anywhere. So it's been really fun to kind of see how that space is kind of an extra, it's a gathering space, right? It's
mhm.
where the little
Yep.
one can be up and kind of running around, but still while everyone else is sleeping. It's been really fun to kind of watch the dynamics all this week of different families. So
Yes,
another joy. You
absolutely.
guys, thank you so much. I love all the comments here. Sarah is surprised by so many dining options. Yes, Sarah, I've been taking tons of photos, but I will say that I did drop the ball on the steak at La Chateau because I dove right into it. I forgot to take my picture beforehand, so I dropped the ball on that for Sammy. But I got tons of other stuff. I swear, I've been doing nothing but taking pictures and videos. So, Ryan, anything else you want to add about really just the value and your love for this brand? Because I think I have been so pleasantly surprised this week, and I've been wanting to experience this property for more years than I can count.
Mhm.
And I feel really, really good about selling it now.
Well, honestly, I'm a little jealous that you're there and I'm here in Pennsylvania. Although it is 55 here today, so it's
Woohoo!
But I mean, there's just so much. Take the training for sandals is out right now. Definitely take the training. They have nice videos, a breakdown on each of the resorts, and utilize it. I mean, Sandals puts out their GM's phone numbers, the sales managers' phone numbers and emails. Not too many resorts do that. I mean, the VP of sales puts out his phone number and they answer their phones. I mean, they're there for us. God forbid if a client is unhappy. I mean, there's a reason I sell this brand. I don't have to worry about my clients, my honeymoon clients, destination wedding clients, which I have one in May that I'll be going to at Beaches, Turks and Caicos, and our families. Like it means a lot that they care so much about us and our guests. And I love it because, like I said, I don't have to worry about them when they're there. And God forbid if they have an issue, all I do have to do is pick up a phone, make a quick phone call, and they're on it before I even hang up. Definitely check out, if you ever go to the resort, check out the kids camp. It's a great a great thing that they offer for free as well for the little kiddos that are there. Another add-on sell for us. Also groups. If you know me, I'm huge on groups. There's so many different opportunities there with groups. If you have more than 5 rooms, you can get a group photo included, a welcome picnic, a group dinner. And that's all free included in there. So, I mean, it's an easier, hey, if you sell 5 rooms, the 6 rooms free in the fall kind of promo deal. So anything that anyone needs, I'm always here. Carolyn, thank you so much for having me. As always, enjoy. Tell everyone at Turks I said hello, and I'll see you next.
I will. I think that I just have had such a great time this week. My son has had such a great time. It's been fun spending time with him, which is what this resort is all about. But I've also had fun time just kind of people watching and watch what this does to other families and their interaction and just how they're able to relax. That's what I've really seen is just a really good vibe here, and the kids having a really good time alongside their parents. They're the important people in their lives, and that's been really fun to watch. And I don't know if I always have an opportunity to be that observer, but on this trip I've had that chance. And I in our job, I think that's important to kind of see what a resort does to people and what emotions it invokes. So been just a great time. The weather's been so fantastic this week. And the diving's been amazing. The water, no seaweed. So yeah, couldn't say more.
Awesome.
Well, you guys, thank you so much for being here. Ryan, thank you always for your time and your talent. And I'm trying to think of what next week is, you guys. I have no idea because I'm in vacation mode. But I will definitely see you back here next week at 3 p.m. Eastern time. You guys have a wonderful day. The rest of your weekend. I'll see some of you in Las Vegas. And Ryan, we'll see you soon as well. Thank you so much, everyone, and have a great rest of your day. Bye.